here we are again. This is Michael Lodge, the business advisor. Well, I tell you, it's getting colder and colder. We're down in the 50s this morning, and we're going to go on Saturday. We're supposed to get down into the 40s again. So that means autumn is here. Fall is here. I love it. I love this cold air. I wanted to go over just a few things. So today is kind of like my conversation is, it's important. We need to talk about these things because it's important. One of them is leadership. And leadership in government is vital in order to keep a country stable. So that people can feel as though that there is stability in the United States. And right now, individuals or Americans, or even in other countries, they're beginning to wonder about the people up at the top. Are they able to lead? Because if you listen to what they're saying, there's no leadership there. They're not thinking about what they're saying. They get confused about what they're saying. I'm not going to pick on Biden this morning because we can go on and on for hours on Biden, but I want to talk about Harris. When Harris is asked a question, she rambles. She goes off into a whole bunch of directions. She repeats her words over and over again, which tells you that she's not thinking before she answers. It's okay to take a few seconds and pause, because on camera they can cut that out. But it's important to take just a few seconds and pause and think about what you are going to say before you say it. So right now what we hear is a rambling, nonsense comment from a vice president, second in command of the United States. So we have two individuals in the White House that cannot communicate. And we have a third one, which is the press secretary, who can't communicate. So when people hear the words coming out of the White House, they are confused. They don't know what's going on. They don't even understand what's true and what's not true. Because no one is taking the time to think. They're reacting, but they're not thinking. Reaction always gets you into trouble. Every single time. Biden reacts to questions angrily sometimes, and sometimes you don't even know what he's talking about because he was raised in Puerto Rico, I guess. I mean, you understand what I'm trying to say there is that it is a confusing message that Americans are saying we don't have any leadership in the White House. And that is concerning because that puts us into a national security issue. So if there's anything that I'm going to tell you, Ms. Harris, before you talk, think about what you're going to say. Because right now you're rambling. Right now you're confusing. Right now you're repeating every single word that you're saying. You're not delivering a confident message. We don't hear any confidence in the president, and we hear no confidence in the vice president. So we have a problem, and Americans are concerned about it. They're concerned that we have no leadership. And we hear it also from the speaker's office too. So that's a concerning part. It's important that we talk about that because even in our own personal lives, we have got to understand that how we present ourselves is what people are reading. When you talk and some gibberish comes out, it means that you didn't spend enough time listening to the question and taking your time to respond to the question. Because people have got to feel that you and I have confidence in what we're saying. We cannot go off into tangents. And that's one of the things that I try to get my clients when they come in for mediation to focus on the issue, not on everything else that's out there, but focus on the issue and communicate about that specific issue. Think before you talk. Come in well planned. So that's my first thing that's important to talk about. The other thing I wanted to talk about was DACA. We have talked about DACA individuals for how many years? For a long time now. And now it's been struck down by the courts. And Biden's all upset because now he can't follow the Obama era of DACA. That's all gone now. But see, here's the problem is that politicians talk about an issue, but they seldom do anything about the issue. Democrats for years in their campaigns have been talking about DACA, giving people who were brought here to this country a chance to become a citizen. But they never did anything about it. They haven't done anything about it. Why? Because it's a political issue. It's something that is not seen very well by the American people. But they keep talking about it because they want all their families who are legal here to vote on their behalf. DACA has always been a political issue. It's never been an issue where people actually worked on it. They talk about it, they give speeches about it, and they make all these promises, but what has been done? Over all these years that the word DACA had even appeared, all there has been is talk. So all these people are out there with no hope because politicians give them no hope. And they find out now, we've just been a political pawn. That's all we've been. So listen, if politicians make you a promise, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. If it is a social issue, it's not going to happen. Okay? And Americans have got to understand that politicians during this time, up until November, are going to be the most evil type of people there are. I am really surprised. Here in Georgia, which is right next to me, they have two individuals over there, Stacey Abrams and Senator Warnock, I guess his name. Now, Warnock is a reverend. He is a minister. But he is practicing some of the dirtiest politics I have ever seen. I mean, they are bringing stuff out of the closet on his opponent that is no one else's business. But they're using it. So I don't understand how you can be a pastor and at the same time play dirty politics, which means that God has been removed, basically, and evil has replaced it through politics. And if you look at the dirty politics that both of those players, Abrams and Warnock, are using, it's dirty, rotten politics. Off the movie of Dirty, Rotten Scoundrels. I mean, this is some of the dirtiest politics that you're seeing now. I mean, if you want to look at politics and see what's going to happen in the next few weeks, you are going to see some dirty stuff happening. And it's going on and on. That's what politics. That's why I always tell people, do not involve politics in your organization, your business, your church, your schools, because politics is evil. And once you invite evil in, you develop conflict. And that's what has happened. All this evilness out there is creating conflict. And individuals and Americans are in conflict not knowing what the hell is going on because it's so dirty, rotten politics. I tell you, it's gotten worse. This year, I've never seen it so dirty. And I can just imagine there must be teams in these political organizations that are trying to get these people elected, and they sit there and say, what kind of dirt can we bring up? They don't talk about their issues. Remember, the issues that we're supposed to be talking about and hearing solutions to is inflation, recession, home mortgages, loans, cars being repossessed, people not being able to buy food, shortages of food, supply chain, taxation. overspending of government. That's over 10 items right now, but they don't focus on what is needed and what they've caused. Instead, what they talk about is dirt. I've never seen it this way before. I mean, it is really dirty out there. And here, we Americans, we're sitting here saying, can I go to the store today? Do I have enough money in my bank account to go and buy some eggs? Just the basics. That's all I need. Do I have enough money? Or do I need to save it up because now I've got to pay my rent, I've got to pay my utility bills, I've got to pay my insurance on my car? What kind of money do I have? Because people are living from paycheck to paycheck. Remember, consumer credit is at $1.13 trillion. Because they cannot afford, they don't have enough cash flow to support the cost of living at the moment. And when you hear politicians saying, yeah, we brought the gases down. No, the gas prices are going right back up. So now inflation is getting heavy again. Then we have layoffs and we've got companies not hiring at the moment. Because they know that there's a recession, they're in a recession, and they have to deal with it. Otherwise, their companies are not going to survive. So we have all of these things happening, but yet politicians don't want to focus on the needs of the American people. And what do? They dig up snot. I mean, it's the dirtiest, yuckiest politics ever out there. And I'm asking you, please, don't allow politics in your organizations because conflict costs money. It costs time, wasted time. And it costs because people don't know what they can and cannot say. And you want to have a workplace and a church where you can go and you can learn and you can contribute and you can be part of the team. But if you bring politics in, it creates division and conflict, and that creates havoc in your companies. We see it in Twitter, we've seen it in Delta Airlines, we've seen it in Coca-Cola, we've seen everybody in Disney, we've seen everyone who has taken a political position get hurt. And a lot of people have gotten hurt. So those are the subjects that I felt that we needed to talk about this morning. Everybody, if you just live your lives and you focus on your needs, you already know how you're going to vote. Vote. Get out there and vote per your heart. But don't get involved in all these politics, okay? Because it goes nowhere. Listen, if you want to have more access to me, you can go to www.lodge-co.com. It's down in the basis of this podcast, www.lodge-co.com. You can go there, you can book a 30-minute free consultation if you want, either in the subject of mediation or business, if you have a business question. I'm there. It's free 30 minutes. Listen, everybody go out and have a great day. The sun is out, the leaves are changing color, and they're dropping to the ground. I've got to go out and water, and I've got to go out and pick up some of these leaves because it's dropping. And those acorns are dropping. I got work to do. Everybody go out and have a great day. Let's hear some jazz. Talk with you soon. Bye-bye.